नमस्कार। ग्रेट मैन इंटरनेशनल स्कूल की ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूं। कोविड-19 महामारी के इस दौर में मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि आपका परिवार पूरी तरह सुरक्षित है, स्वस्थ है और बच्चों ने लॉकडाउन में बहुत एंजॉय किया है। अब मैं आपका सपोर्ट चाहता हूं। इस ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में बच्चों की शिक्षा को हम अब स्टार्ट करते हैं और बहुत ही जल्द जो भी आपका बैकलॉग है हम उसको क्लियर भी करेंगे और एक नए तरीके से आपकी शिक्षा अब स्टार्ट होने वाली है। पेरेंट्स का हमें पूरा सपोर्ट चाहिए। आप लोग पिछले 10 सालों से लगातार हमें सपोर्ट करते आए हैं और मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि अगर हम और आप मिलकर चाहेंगे तो बच्चों की शिक्षा का कोई नुकसान नहीं होने वाला है और हमें और आपको मिलकर अब एक रीस्टार्ट करना है। नाउ लेट्स रीस्टार्ट। बेस्ट ऑफ लक। नमस्कार।
Hello everyone. Welcome to the online class for grade 8 science. Now, as we know that the world is suffering from pandemic COVID-19. Yes, the schools are shut down, the workplaces are closed, but what we want is that your studies are not affected. So, the remedy for this is that we have started with your online classes so that we can cover up your syllabus. In continuation to this, here is your Science Lesson 2 Microorganisms. Now, why do we have to study about these microorganisms? I think you should be knowing this in the today's scenario. The world is suffering from COVID-19, which is again a virus. Yes, and virus is a microorganism. So we should study about these microorganisms so that we know that where these occur and how do these cause the diseases. So before we start up with what are microorganisms and what is all in this chapter, we should know that what all things are we going to cover. So in this chapter we are going to cover up what are microorganisms, where are they found, types of microorganisms, microorganisms which are useful for human beings, which are harmful for human beings, and food preservation. So these are the topics which we are going to cover. So let's start. The first topic is what are microorganisms. As we see from the name is again made up of two words, micro and organisms, right? Micro means very small or very minute. Organisms mean living creatures, right? So microorganisms will be what? Very minute living creatures. Okay? By very minute, what do we mean? Very minute means which cannot be seen by your naked eyes. To observe the microorganisms, we always need a light microscope or we need a high-powered electron microscope. Only then these microorganisms are visible. And the branch of science which deals with these microorganisms is known as what? Microbiology. Is that clear? So microorganisms are what? Very minute living creatures which cannot be seen by the naked eye, and the branch of science which deals in these microorganisms or which studies these microorganisms is known as what? Microbiology. Right? Next is what? Where these microorganisms are found. So these microorganisms can be found in every nook and corner, in everywhere around. Okay? There is no place where we say that these microorganisms cannot sustain. Okay, like as for COVID-19 it is said generally that it cannot sustain very high temperature. But that's not so. Every microorganism can sustain drastic temperature conditions. Okay? Either it is very hot or it is very cold. Now how do they do this? Whenever there are conditions unfavorable, they will do what? They will form a cyst around themselves. Okay? And they will become inactive. They will not die. They will become inactive. And as soon as the conditions become favorable for them, this cyst will break and they will again become active. Fine. So this is how that we say that microorganisms are found everywhere. Either it is a desert area, a water lake, a volcanic eruption, anywhere we can find these microorganisms. Till here it is clear. Next topic which we have is the types of microorganisms. Now these microorganisms are generally of 5 types. Okay, or we have 5 classes of these microorganisms. First one is bacteria, then we have the algae, then fungi, protozoa and virus. These are the 5 types of main microorganisms. Okay, first we will study about the bacteria. Now, bacteria is actually the simplest and the most found microorganism. From your garden soil to the kitchen platform, anywhere it can be found. The unicellular organisms, and they occur as a single cell. But sometimes what happens that they can also occur in groups or in clusters. Okay, whenever they are occurring in clusters, they form 3 shapes or 3 different shapes. Either the cluster can be in the rod shape, the cluster can be in the spherical shape, or the cluster can be in the spiral shape. Okay, so whenever it is in the rod shape, it is known as the bacilli or bacilli. Fine. Whenever it is in the spherical shape, it is known as the cocci, and whenever it is in the spiral shape, it is known as spirilla. So these are the 3 shapes of bacteria: bacilli, cocci and spirilla. Fine. Next we have is the algae. Now algae is what? Algae is generally a plant-like microorganism. Plant-like means what? It will contain a cell wall and it will contain a chlorophyll. And chlorophyll means that it can prepare its own food. This is the main characteristic of the algae. Okay? And algae can grow anywhere. From a pond to a desert, algae can be found anywhere. Generally, the algal growth which we see is on the surface of water or the still water, where we found the growth of algae. Third one is the protozoa. Protozoa is an animal-like microorganism. When we say animal-like, it means what? That it can eat or it can move. Okay? That means it has the organs which show movement, that the body of the microorganism can move. Example is amoeba and paramecium. Okay? They show movement also, and they can have their own food. That means they can find food and eat it. These are the protozoa. And another class of protozoa are the parasites, which live in the host cell or host body, even in the human beings. Fine. Next we have the fungi. Fungi and algae are almost the same. The difference is what? That fungi is also plant-like but does not contain the cell wall and does not contain chlorophyll. Okay, but the characteristics are almost like the algae only. Fungi generally we find in the desert areas, and best it can grow in the damp, warm areas. Okay, like the mushroom. Agaricus we know. Agaricus is a kind of fungi. Next, now this fungi can, one more thing is that fungi can be either unicellular or it can be multicellular. Right? Next we have is the virus. The most important one and the biggest one which causes a disease. Okay? Now virus is actually considered to be a link between living and non-living, because the virus can reproduce. Okay. Now in reproduction in virus, what happens is, until and unless it gets a host cell, means what? that a virus will live only in the host cell, then only it will reproduce or increase in number. When it has reproduced, a lot of virus will be produced, and these viruses will eventually kill the host cell. As the host cell is killed, it will burst out and the virus can spread in the entire body of the host, and it can be fatal for the host cell. Okay, so this is the way that the virus is spreading, or the virus spreads, because only in the host cell it can divide or it can reproduce. Another feature with virus is what? That viruses cannot be observed using a light microscope. To observe a virus, we always need a electron microscope which is of high power. Then only we can observe a virus. This is why that this COVID has spread in all the countries, or has spread all over the world, because the virus is not visible, and people coming in contact with each other, they can transmit this virus. The virus can get a host to divide, and as it goes on dividing, it is fatal for a human body. Is that clear? So these are our 5 types of microorganisms. Now, the next topic that we have to study is that microorganisms are either useful for us or they are harmful for us. When we study about the useful microorganisms, they are used in various industries. The first industry is the food industry, where it is used. Next industry is your medicines. Next is your agriculture. And fourth is cleaning in the environment. These are the 4 places where microorganisms play an important role, and they are important for the ecosystem or the human race. First one is in the food industry or the beverage industry. How it is used? First, most important use that you might have seen at home also, the souring of milk to make curd, right? In that what happens? Bacteria is used, and which bacteria is used? Lactobacillus. This is the bacteria which is used for the souring of milk and preparation of curd, right? Next is what? In the beverage industry it is used. Now where it is used in the beverage industry, we say what? That your tea, coffee, all these drinks, they contain some amount of microorganisms. Next is the preparation of bread, preparation of your fermented food like your idli. These are all used in the food industry only, and they are all prepared by fermentation. Fermentation is what? That whenever a microorganism uses sugar present in the food, okay, it produces alcohol and it produces carbon dioxide. Okay? And then what will happen? In carbon dioxide, what will happen? That this causes the dough of your food to rise. And we say that the dough has been fermented. Okay? So this is how that the microorganisms are used in our food industry. Next we have the use in our medicine industry. The most important medicine which was prepared by a microorganism was penicillin. Right? I hope you might be knowing about penicillin. It is prepared by Penicillium, which is a microorganism, and the penicillin was the first medicine to be produced by using a microorganism. Again, insulin, which is present in the body of the human beings, it can also be produced using a bacteria and given to the body of a human which does not produce insulin naturally. Okay? So this is how, again, the vaccines which are made. In vaccines, what is done? A low amount of microorganism is injected into the body. Then the body, what it starts to do? It starts to produce the antibodies against that microorganism. And when the antibodies are produced, the body develops an immunity against that microorganism. Okay? So either they can be used in the tablets, they can be used as vaccines, and they can be used as insulin. We have the use of microorganisms in agriculture. The most important use of microorganism in agriculture is as a nitrogen fixing microorganism. Okay, there are two microorganisms which can be used for this, either a bacteria and second one is a blue-green algae. Now, I hope you might be knowing about nitrogen fixation. In case you don't know, what happens is that these leguminous plants which we have, the beans, the pulses, the peas, these are all the leguminous plants. Leguminous plants means they contain root nodules. Okay, these root nodules contain nitrogen fixing bacteria which take up the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into the nitrogen compounds which can be easily absorbed by the soil, and from the soil they can be absorbed by the plants. Okay, so these are the nitrogen fixing microorganisms. Either it can be bacteria and it can be a blue-green algae. Right? This is how this is used in agriculture. Next is the cleaning of the ecosystem or cleaning of the environment. Now, how does that helps in cleaning? For cleaning of the environment, they generally work upon the dead bodies of plants and animals. Okay. Now, when they are working on dead bodies, plants and animals means these dead bodies will get decomposed. If in case the microorganisms were not there, there would be heaps of bodies of plants and animals, and of course the human beings also, which are buried, right? So what do? That they work on these dead bodies and they decompose them. They break down. They are advantageous to us or they are helpful to us in one or the another way. Is that clear? Now the next topic we have is the harmful microorganisms. Now in the harmful microorganisms, what do we study? First thing is that how these microorganisms are going to enter your body. Okay. Now before we study about these harmful microorganisms, we should know a term which is known as pathogens. Okay. Pathogens are what? The microorganisms which are harmful to us or which are disease causing. Okay? That means disease causing microorganisms are called as germs or they are known as pathogens. Fine. Now we are going to see that how these pathogens are going to enter the body and different ways in which they cause the diseases. The various ways are either they can enter the body through air. That means any infected person has having coughing and sneezing and he has coughed in a open air, and then those germs enter into someone else's body. The diseases caused by such transmission is like flu, then it can be chicken pox. These are the diseases which are transmitted through air. Next we have through water. That means from infected water like the hepatitis. Okay. Third we have through the insects. That means and we have the Anopheles mosquito. Anopheles mosquito carries the germs of malaria. So whenever the Anopheles mosquito, it transmits the germs from one person to another person, the infection or the diseases occur. Next is through the direct contact. Like we are right now seeing the COVID, the viral diseases. These are all from the direct contact from one infected person to another healthy person. It can easily be transmitted when they come in direct physical contact. Okay. Next one is the microorganisms which are infecting the plants, like the citrus canker. Citrus canker, it infects the citrus plants. Rust of wheat. Rust of wheat is again a fungal disease which is spreading by air. So there are various diseases and various microorganisms which cause the diseases. Next we have the types of communicable diseases or the topic of communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are what? Which can be transmitted from one person to another person coming in contact. Okay, that means they are easily communicable from one host to the another host. The microorganism can easily travel from one body to another body. These are known as the communicable diseases. Then again we see the spoilage of food by the microorganisms. Like you might have seen the growth on bread. That is what? Spoilage of bread by the microorganism. The spoilage of potatoes. These are all the spoilage of food by the microorganisms. Now, after these harmful and after these advantageous microorganisms, the last topic which we have is the preservation of food. Preservation means what? That how can we protect our food items from the action of these microorganisms. We have various processes to do it. The first process is the UHT method. UHT, ultra heat treatment. In this what happens, that's the product, like it is generally done for milk. The Tetra packs which we get in the market, they are made by the ultra heat treatment only. In this what is done, that the milk is boiled at a very high temperature around 135 degrees centigrade for 1 or 2 minutes so that it can kill many of the microorganisms present. Fine. And then they are packed in the Tetra packs which have their shelf life around of 4 to 6 months. Shelf life means where they are consumable or they can be easily consumed. Next we have the pasteurization. The pasteurization method was given by Louis Pasteur. In this what is done, the food item is heated at a very high temperature and then suddenly it is cooled down. So the microorganism cannot withstand such a drastic change immediately and it can die. So this is another method where the microorganism can be killed. Then the refrigeration. Like we keep our food items in the refrigerator. What happens? That the cooling of the food items do not allow the growth of microorganisms. Okay. Then the canning of food. That means they are packed in the cans so that the microorganisms do not grow. Salting, like in the pickles, or the removal of water. So these are the types or these are the steps from which the food can be preserved from the growth of microorganisms. So this is all about the microorganisms. What all things have we learned? The types of microorganisms. Where can these be found? They can be either harmful or they can be advantageous. And the preservation of food. That means how can we safeguard or preserve our food from these microorganisms. So this is all for this chapter. The question answers and the assignment sheet will be given to you in the description box. Kindly just go through it and complete your question answers and the worksheet. Okay? And now this is all for today. Till then, we'll meet with another chapter. Stay home, stay safe.